Hi there, my name is David Batsoffen and this is Linden with David Batsoffen. And today I'm talking to, I don't want to say a new kid on the block, but he actually is. It's Willem Dercksen, who is a biokineticist who's just moved into the area. Willem, welcome to you. Welcome to Linden. How are you doing?
Hi, David. Thank you so much for having me today. No, I'm doing really well. Slowly starting to find my feet. I love Linden. We've probably moved in here about 3 years ago, and I don't see any plans of us moving anywhere else just because Linden is such a special place.
Great stuff. Biokineticist, the word to me is like Mississippi or banana. You never know when to end it. If you ask somebody to spell banana, it's B-A-N-A-N-A-N-A-N-A-N-A. And Mississippi is the same. And biokineticist is a similar sort of word. But
yeah,
I know you guys play a very important part in rehabilitation and that type of thing. So tell me what it is that you do.
All right, yes. I think if you're having problems pronouncing it, you should try and spell it. That's even worse. Luckily, just for short, bio, I think most people are slowly recognizing just the term bio. So basically what biokineticists do, and here at my practice as well, we tend to work on the final phase of rehabilitation. So that just means that we need to get someone back on their feet so that they can go back to the sports field or their normal daily activities. It has to do quite a lot with, like I said, rehabilitation. So especially if someone has an injury or wants to prevent an injury, that's where we come in. Usually we always after the physios, and then so from there we just strengthen up the muscles and the joints to get the person back on his feet or her feet again.
Right. So you say rehabilitation. In what way? What sort of sports are we looking at?
Yes, so in terms of orthopedic rehabilitation, we definitely look at, or basically any type of injury, whether it's any kind of sports. Usually I actually do see quite a few after surgery. So people that had like
Sorry, that's my cat that's walking past the camera. My apologies.
No problem.
I'm trying to keep him off my desk, but he's not playing along.
They're always really curious.
Yeah, they are indeed.
So say for instance, I see quite a lot of knee replacement patients. So just after they've got their knee replaced, they'll come to me. Obviously, first seeing the physio to get the swelling and the pain levels down, get the range of motion better. But then, after that, they'll come to me so that we can do some more functional type of training. And that's where the rehabilitation comes in.
And is there an upper and lower age limit to your patients, Willem?
No. Luckily, that's the one thing that's very nice about biokinetics, or at least in terms of that type of rehabilitation. Whether it's someone that's literally 3-year-old or 99-year-olds, we can work with all of them, obviously just within the, the safe brackets. So you need to work on each patient as an individual.
Sorry, this cat is really being an annoyance now, because now it's time to move the light. So hold a second. So now that the cat's out of the way, hopefully safely out of the way, we can continue. You were saying about rehab from 3-year-olds to 99-year-olds and everybody in between.
Definitely.
But how do you deal with a 3-year-old, Willem?
Yes, that takes a lot of patience from our side. But luckily, so you just have to work with them, try and keep their attention and try and make it as fun as possible. Because, if you have someone that's 30-year-olds, you can go very strict and professional in terms of kind of almost like a little bit of a boring routine, but you have to get the work in. But with kids, it's a different ball game. You have to make it fun. You have to make it you almost like playing with them. Yeah. Obviously, just incorporating that professional kind of knowledge that you have to get that injury fixed. So it is definitely much different from a 30-year-old.
So walk us through your practice, because I know that not only are you new to the area, your practice is in a building that is almost brand new to our area.
Definitely, yes. So I'm situated here at the Pinnacle College Linden campus. So it's a primary and a high school. So it's a very nice new built school. I'm here on the corner of 4th Avenue and 11th Street.
Right.
So it's right across the swimming pool, so that's very convenient. Yeah, so the school has also just started this year. So as the school started, I also started with them. So it was like a bit of a combined package that we started here. I'm on the premises, so things are going really well.
Is the school back? Did the children return today? After this, they had a holiday now, didn't they? Sort of an early break.
Yes, I must be honest. I am quite confused when they are here and when they're not, just because of this whole Corona situation and the government also changing their times and holidays and private, public. Yeah, it's quite complicated to keep up with everything. But as far as I know, everyone's, especially here at Pinnacle, they are up and running, full steam, online, physical classes, the whole works. Yeah.
Talk to me about what you expect from patients that come to you.
All right, yes. So I think if you're coming to my practice, I'm definitely very, how can I say, open-minded in terms of how we can, how can I say, like treat your injury in terms of rehabilitation. So I am quite diverse in terms of, like we spoke about, age. So because I'm here at the school, I do see the grade 1s, for instance, and then I can see some of my other more senior clients.
Right.
So I'm in their 90s. So my practice is very diverse in terms of that. But definitely what I need to expect from them is just to be open-minded and try and go the full way in terms of rehabilitation. A lot of times people do get discouraged midway because they start getting the, how can I say, like positive feedback from the rehab. They're feeling better. But unfortunately, in terms of rehabilitation, you have to go the full way. And that's the key to rehabilitation.
It's like taking medication. When you have a course of medication, the doctors always say finish the meds, and you get about a third of the way through or 2/3 of the way through, and you go, I'm feeling much better, and you decide, no, we'll just give it up, and then you get sick again, and then you wonder why.
Exactly. That's exactly the the problem that I have here. So you have to go through the whole schedule until you meet the end, and then the chances of re-injuring yourself is very, very unlikely. So
right.
If you can just push through all the crazy exercises, yes, then you'll be home beyond.
I'm your worst nightmare when it comes to that. I remember when I was training seriously for comrades, and I would say, go to physio, for instance, and then he'd give me all sorts of exercises to do. I'd go back a week later, and he'd say to me, you've done none of the exercises, have you? And I go,
yes.
No.
Yes.
Too much trouble. Too much trouble.
I actually saw your photo the other day on Facebook. I think it was you and a friend that was tagged in a photo of you running the comrades.
Oh, yes. That was the finish of that particular comrades. We came in screaming. I think screaming just to get rid of the pain more than anything else.
Yes. No, but I must say it looked like a nice bonding memory that you guys had.
We've reconnected over the last year or so, and now we follow each other on Facebook. Neither of us are running anymore, or certainly not that distance anyway. But Willem, when it comes now with COVID-19, what sort of, because everybody is concerned, and rightly so, as to safety precautions and protocols. Now, you're obviously not wearing a mask now because you're talking to me, but I'm sure that you've got all the necessary protocols in place to make sure that both you and your patients are safe.
Yes, definitely. That's a big concern for a lot of patients, especially with biokinetics. We were allowed to start practicing again since level 4. But even so, you can be at the practice, but if the clients or the patients don't want to come because of they're feeling a bit nervous in terms of meeting other people, that's a big problem. So you have to make your practice and your area as safe as possible to make them feel as comfortable to actually come and meet you. So luckily, where I'm located here at Pinnacle College, they have their own set of protocols, which is very, very strict. So you'll see definitely once you come onto the premises, you get sprayed and tested the whole month. Even before you even meet me, you've already had like a full screening almost. So at least the school itself is very compliant with the rules, and then obviously I try to match them in terms of that. So at the practice, it gets cleaned every single day. Every part of equipment that's been used with a patient has to be cleaned. So that's why we can't have back-to-back patients anymore. I'm sure the other bios and physios, chiros, all of them will agree with me that you have to sanitize every single little thing, and it takes like 20 minutes to do all of that before you can meet your next patient. So like you said, in terms of wearing a mask, yes, I definitely do that. Also, it's even more important if the person is like a high risk patient in terms of having heart problems or diabetes or older age or anything like that. So you have to be super careful in terms of that. And also, we only see each other, it's a one-on-one session. So there's no other influences in terms of other people as well.
I have to mention, there is an item hanging on the wall behind you that terrifies, I think, people that come to a bio, because that fat measuring thing, you think you've lost weight, and then you clip that on, and people go, oh. And specifically now, lockdown is you're sitting at home, you're working from home, the kitchen is just maybe around the corner from where you are, and you're in and out, back and forth. And I know I'm guilty. Find myself eating for no apparent reason other than it's in the kitchen.
Yes, definitely, Akshay. Yeah, that caliper is quite intimidating when people do see it. Usually when I meet clients and I can judge a bit in terms of how sensitive they are, usually when I do the measurements, I just like reduce like 1 mil just to make them feel a bit better. Because like sometimes it can be so intimidating to have these numbers thrown in your face. So
specifically if you think you've been doing well.
Definitely, yes. But the other nice thing, at least about it, in terms of body fat, they also compare you to, say, like your peers or statistically your shape of body. So it doesn't always, like sometimes people will say like, yo, that's a lot of amount or percentage of fat. But I'm like, yeah, but in terms of you're a male or a female, that age, that height, it's actually not bad. And you're actually well within your parameters.
So you're not only a biokineticist, you've got to be some sort of psychologist as well, because you've got to make sure that people understand that they're not alone in this.
Definitely, yes. Because I think people do have like a misconception about how one should look like. You always just see in the movies, everyone has like a six-pack and like perfect face and everything. So, but that's far from the truth. So if you just go within your norms and keep a positive attitude, yes, definitely you have to work with that.
We spoke about what you expect or what clients can expect from you. What do you expect from your clients when they arrive? Do you insist that they're masked and all of those type of things, that they sanitize? And have you found that they've been compliant, or have you had some who've gone, no, I'm not interested in wearing a mask?
Yes, so you definitely do see the full spectrum of people. So, but I must say, definitely 99% of people do comply with those rules.
Right.
I think firstly because they know that if they don't, they can actually get this virus. So they're at risk for themselves. But I have had a few clients, luckily due to physical limitations, that they couldn't wear a mask, which is not the end of the world. You just need to then sanitize your property and your equipment just even better then. Just like I said, luckily it wasn't due to a choice that they made. It was a physical limitation that they couldn't wear a mask. But then, I mean, then it's fine. You have sympathy for someone like that, and you just work your way around it.
And what about people who are maybe in a wheelchair or hobbling along on crutches? Are your rooms wheelchair accessible?
Definitely, yes. And that's one of the things that I made sure of when I started here at Pinnacle, because I did come from a background where I worked with a lot of senior citizens which were disabled or quite fragile. So they were in wheelchairs or walkers or crutches and things like that. So yes, at least the admin building where I'm situated, it is wheelchair friendly.
Okay. And times that you're currently working? Or is it by appointment only?
Yes, it is mostly by appointment only. Just because I'm not always full-time here at the school, I do go in and out of it, seeing like home visits and things like that. But a rough estimate would be Monday to Friday, say from 7:30 till 5.
Oh, wow. Okay. And you mentioned in passing their home visits. I did not know that sort of thing was still done.
Yes, definitely. So at the moment, I do see about 3 home visits. 2 of them are kind of here in the Linden area.
Right.
And then I have a soft spot for one of my older patients that lives quite far outside. I do go and see her, just because now with the lockdown, no one wants to drive anymore.
Yeah.
Especially with my older clients, they usually got a lift, say, with one of the kids, but now they're so busy with work, they can't get out. So I do make a special time for them to go and see them at their homes. Yeah.
If people want to call you and make an appointment, how do they go about? Can they phone you direct, or can they go via a website or Facebook perhaps?
Yes, I think the best way would be just to contact me directly on my cell phone number. Then at least I can make an appointment for you right to there and then. Definitely via email as well. That's also a good one. And then, I do have a Facebook page. Someone can also just send me like a direct message, and then I can respond to that. My website, I'm currently building one, so I'm just in the process of that. So hopefully by the end of this month, I'll have a nice website up and running.
Great. So your email address is?
Yes. So email address is WD, or just WD Dercksen, my surname. Sorry, let me just quickly get a better one here for you. Right. So it's WD Biokineticist at gmail.com.
Should I make you spell it, Dirk? Willem?
The only reason why I'm so confident is because I have it right in front of me.
Yeah.
So should I spell it for someone?
Spell it nice and slowly so people who are watching can jot it down.
Not a problem. All right. So it's WD Biokineticist at gmail.com.
And a contact phone number?
076 87 08 031.
Great stuff. Willem, thank you so much for joining me here on Linden with David Batsoffen. We're going to be chatting to you some more during September, where we'll look in depth at what you actually offer clients from a specialty point of view. But wish you all the very best, and thanks very much for joining me this afternoon.
Thank you so much, David. I really appreciate it. I really like this opportunity, and it's nice to speaking to you again.
Just apologies for the cat. I'll make sure that when we talk again, he has been banished to other rooms.
Oh, shame. No problem. I love animals, so it's not a problem.
Fair enough. Thanks once again, Willem. I've been talking to Willem Dercksen, who is a biokineticist in Linden, and you can listen once again to the interview, and you can get all his details from this. And if you are in need of professional assistance, why don't you give him a call?